This week on Performance TV, Tommy and Kathy pack up from California and head to Houston, Texas, the home of MMLJ. Here they'll learn how dustless blasting started, how they're made, and the business opportunities it may bring you. All of this and more next on Performance TV.
Welcome to this week's Performance TV. If you've ever done body work, had to sand, do prep, you got to blast, it makes a lot of work, it's dirty, it's messy, lots of dust. Well, we're on location today in Houston, Texas at the headquarters of Dustless Blasting. They've got a great way to do preparation work to the surface. They're going to clean surfaces and they're going to do it without a mess. It's dustless. It's a great, innovative product. We're going to teach you all about it. Isn't that right, Kathy?
Tommy, you know, their slogan says the future of surface preparation, and that's what we're going to find out today, just exactly how do they prep and build these machines. Not only the tools, but also the turnkey mobile units where you can start your very own dustless blasting business. So what do you say we get right to it and just find out how these machines are made?
That's right, Kathy. We're going to learn all about dustless blasting because I'm with the owner of the company, Benny LeCompte. Now, Benny, how did it get to be dustless blasting?
Well, it evolved from sandblasting. Sandblasting has been around forever, but as we all know that it's not safe for the environment. We create this hazardous plume of dust, and we found a way to eliminate that completely, making it an environmentally sound tool for today's time.
This is kind of a new technique. It's only been around a short period of time.
Well, that's right. Like I said, it did evolve, but it evolved through, hard work and determination to get the right combination of using water and abrasive. So imagine we're throwing wet handfuls of sand or recycled bottle glass, whatever the abrasive might be, but we're not putting it into the air.
Right, and it doesn't have to be used on, let's say, a car, taking the paint off of that. There's endless amounts of use for this.
That's right. I mean, graffiti, what city doesn't have a problem with graffiti today? So obviously automobiles is one of them, marine is another one, construction industry. So we do touch a lot of different applications with this wonderful tool.
Right, it's going to remove paint, it's going to remove rust, it's going to remove dirt. You can even use it on the sidewalk.
That's absolutely right. We often do line stripe removal, for instance, in parking garages and other applications that you wouldn't necessarily associate with sandblasting. But because we, once again, have eliminated that plume of dust, that we can go into locations now where you would never be able to do it with the dry sandblasting method.
And you can do it in a shop, or you have portable ways of doing it as well.
That's exactly right. Our portable machines, we can essentially go anywhere on location. We'll sometimes, like when we do a vehicle, we'll put poly underneath the truck so we can capture the paint and be responsible and dispose of it properly.
Yeah, a business owner doesn't have to have a brick and mortar building. He can be on the go.
That's exactly right, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves with. So just by simply eliminating that plume of dust, we can go to owners, businesses, and individuals' homes.
I see this Texas Edition sticker. What's that tell me?
Well, we're proud to say that these things are made in the USA and they're Texas tough. But we build a high-quality machine. As responsible ASME manufacturer of pressure vessels, we do take ourselves to a higher standard than most companies.
And we'll check in with Kathy.
Well, Tommy, it is a pretty interesting process in how they're made, but Zach, I'm kind of curious, you don't have just one size.
No, absolutely not. We service so many different industries. We have over 10 different sizes of our dustless blasting machines.
Wow, and can you get them just here in the States, or?
No, we actually ship our equipment to all 7 continents of the world.
How would you get one, though, if if you were here in the States?
You know, the only way to get a machine in North America is to order it directly from us right here at the factory.
I guess you guys just handle everything.
Yes, ma'am, we sure do.
So you're keeping everything in-house. Well, when you get back to the sizes, you guys have so many different ones. Is it because of all of the different industries that you're working in and the different applications? I mean, because that's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. You know, imagine a graffiti job might be something small, but a ship is something much larger. So we need bigger tools for bigger applications because the jobs are significantly larger.
You know, I noticed some of the smaller ones. I mean, it would be really easy to even haul those around if you had an air compressor to go along with it.
Absolutely, and that's a big part, you know, for our portable contractors, and those are both people that base their business around a dustless blaster, as well as a mobile painting contractor, you know, that just needs to be able to go out and prep infrastructure before they code it.
Once we get into it, using the machine and we need to be able to replace the media, is that something that we get from you guys too?
You know, none of the abrasives are proprietary to us. So we try to make things easy for our customers, and they're welcome to order things from us, but we're not really in the consumable side of the business.
Okay, because I know you guys handle so much of the stuff, just like building these things. I mean, right from the start of the raw materials coming in all the way through. How many step process is it to build one of your dustless blaster machines?
You know, there's a couple dozen steps. By the time the raw material comes in to a finished product is loaded onto the back of a truck and headed down the road.
Well, you know, I had an opportunity to get a little sneak peek of the process on building one of these dustless blaster machines, but we're going to take you from start to finish, and we'll do that and so much more right after this here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. IA Coatings, over 50 years of experience in the performance coating industry. Lizard Skin, spray your way to a cooler, quieter ride. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV, on location this week at MMLJ, home of Dustless Blasting, just outside of Houston, Texas. And we've now stepped inside where we're going to see all the excitement get started here, Zach. But to build these units, we've got to start off with the raw material.
Absolutely. And since we make the best tools in the world, we start with the best raw material in the world. And one of the best things about our manufacturing capabilities is that all of our tools are for a purpose, and that purpose is to build great tools.
Absolutely, and quite a selection back here we see of all this different stuff that's going to become what we see at the end. But now that we have the raw materials, we need to turn them into parts.
Absolutely. And so as our raw materials come in, the first things we start to do is chop, bend, press, shear, you know, start to actually turn all these pieces of material into parts and components for our tanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of machines in here that are working, and we're seeing them doing various things. Now that we've been cutting some parts, now we're seeing, what's this robot doing?
Well, the robot is not only going to offer us perfect accuracy, but it's going to start what we call the head of the machine, the top of the tank. And so there's going to be two flanges that we'll see a little bit later down the production process that are going to get welded into those spots. But first we need to start with a hole.
Okay, so we're getting a chance to take a peek down in. Not everybody gets to see all the stuff that this really cool robot's doing, but it looks like it has a couple of different processes for the robot.
Absolutely. So we make the top and the middle of the tank on the robot. The top, just like you'll see here, is the circular piece. The middle of the tank is going to be the part that looks more like a shell.
Okay, and we just want to remind everyone that all of this stuff is being made in the USA right here in Houston, Texas.
Yes, ma'am, it sure is.
All right, well, now that we are seeing all of the raw material getting made into parts, now we're going to see final assembly. And for more on that, here's Tommy.
That's right, Kathy. There's a lot of steps in making a dustless blaster. And I've got Bernie, you're the production manager of facility here. There's a lot of steps in building one of these. I see workstations everywhere. Walk me through some of it. We've seen it come out of the robot. Now where does it head?
Well, once it comes out of the robot, it heads to the station right behind me. It goes through a crimping process. Then it goes, after the crimping process, it goes through a beveling. And from there, we'll move it on to the next station.
Right, they're going to build these in sections. It's not all one big tank. You're going to put these together and piece them together. And the crimping part, they bond together, then you weld them.
Correct, yeah. So it's, three sections that go together to create the tank unit. Then they will crimp them, then they'll get tacked and welded.
Right, there's fittings that go inside there. There's stuff that's going on inside the tank as well as the outside.
Correct. So all the fittings that get welded through the in and outside.
Right, they're going to be in there. There's not going to be nuts on them, but you're going to have problems with it coming loose. These are going to be welded into the tank, permanently in the tank.
Yes, they will be permanently welded to the tank. There's no way getting it off. Now you're trying to cut it out.
Now, there's different sizes. They're not all the same processes and steps for different size tanks. You're going to build the small ones for a shop. And you got great big ones as well for industrial size stuff.
Yeah, so we got from a 225 to a 3000. The small ones for in shop. Anything higher than that, you're looking at, vessels and stuff, boats. And
now, you got this machine that actually presses it together. Once it gets pressed together, then it runs a bead around it. It's all done by mechanical?
Yes, that will be our sub-art. Once it's combine them three pieces together, it'll sub-art, it passes, then it'll move from there to go to the next station.
Right, I saw a plasma cutter back there. Now, this cuts out pieces for, where do these pieces go?
Oh yeah, the plasma cutter will cut out pieces that go on top of the head, as pedestals, handlebars. Some of the things will be leg pads.
Right, now once we get down to the end of the line, we're down to there, we've got a complete unit, it's ready to roll out. Where's the next step?
After the unit's all completed and fitted up, it ends up going to QC, which is quality control.
Well, we got to take a quick break. When we come back for more Performance TV, we're going to quality control and see one of these units finished.
Performance TV coming to you this week from Houston, Texas.
Well, welcome back to Performance TV. As you can see in the background, there are many different sizes of the dustless blaster. And Bernie, we saw the finished tank being done. What's the final steps for the finished product?
It goes through hydro, which goes through our pressure test of 250 psi. That's with water.
You're going to check for leaks and cracks, just make sure it's secure?
Yes, we check for leaks, cracks, all the weld is nice and formed. Go through our certified welders.
Yeah, and then once it gets out of that, then we're going to get it prepped for paint. We're going to go with some blasting.
Yeah, they'll go through our blast booth area. Then after the blast, we'll go through primer and paint, our two process.
Yeah, once we get it painted, we got to come over to final assembly. What are some of the steps that's going to put all this together to make a finished product?
We got our pinch valve boxes that go up top, our plate, our inlet line that goes to the bottom for our pressure regulators for the media to run through.
We're going to get some wheels on them. They got handles, we can move it around.
Yeah, it's easy. Put wheels, handles, be easy movable.
Now, some of these models right here, these are something you're going to see in your shop. Something you're going to have in your shop. Not going to be moving around a lot. You can. But if you're looking to start a new business, they even have a mobile unit. Let's check in with Kathy and learn more about that.
Yeah, you're right, Tommy, but not just one mobile unit. You have tons of different ones that you put together, but you can also, since you're the manufacturer, build custom mobile units, and these are all turnkey.
That's true. I mean, we do build 4 primary machines, in terms of this mobile business. But what's more important, you've seen the tool, but now you've seen the business opportunity that we have. And so we're very passionate about that, in helping people get back to work. We have a great appetite to be in business for yourself here in the U.S. And so we try to help fulfill that dream. And so with that, I often say I'm living the dream.
Right, and you are officially doing that, just like we saw the dustless blasters being built right here, made in the USA. We're in the building where you are making these trailers.
Yeah, we often say made in the USA, and they're Texas tough. So that's one of our fine lines that we like to throw out there, to let people know that we're genuine about, our manufacturing process. And so with that, these tools become businesses in many different areas. Graffiti removal. It's not just automotive, stripping cars. It's also building construction, mold remediation. We get involved with many, many different applications with these machines. So those become revenue streams for the business owners.
Well, when we talk about the build of the trailer, I mean, it's not just the frame. You guys are making the toolboxes. You're making just about everything we see behind us.
What we do is we saw those many tools that we have, you know, we are capable of manufacturing and doing every aspect of this. So we've invested on our infrastructure, you know, in a way that we can provide this product.
Yes, and even helping folks understand how to use all this equipment.
Yeah, well, you know, you can see that we do have training sessions here where we do bring contractors in, and we do give them a full education on not only how the process works, but what are those other revenue streams that are available to them.
Oh, wow. It's just the possibilities are almost endless when you keep bringing up all the different things you can use this machine for.
That's absolutely true, and that's what we kind of pride ourselves on, is that it's not just one trick pony. This thing can do many different things.
Well, we are going to get a chance to see the dustless blaster in action in just a moment.
In racing, or any vehicle for that matter, vibration can be a problem, which causes loosening fasteners. Robert from Stage 8 Locking Fasteners, you can solve that problem.
We can solve that problem. In fact, quick story, when the U.S. military up-armored the Humvees, the vibration of driving over the desert was causing the doors to fall off the vehicles. So they came to us. We can solve that problem.
You make locking fasteners for virtually any part of the car.
That's correct. If you can get a threaded fastener there, we can outfit it to keep it there. Anything from as small as eyeglass screws up to 18-inch in diameter bolts 3 feet long.
Wow. Let's show the folks how they work.
Here's a basic concept. This is our header bolt. We put a groove here in the top of the bolt. The bolt goes in and gets torqued to spec. The locking retainer goes over the head of the bolt just like a box end wrench, okay? That'll hit the, in this case, the tube of the header or any abutment. And then we just take an E-clip in and put it in there to hold it in place. Now the locking retainers come in all sizes and shapes, so if you got a small block Chevy, don't get upset. We have this retainer for you right there, which fits right up against the tube of that header, and you can even modify this for ones that are tighter.
What if it isn't close? How can we adjust that?
Well, actually, this punched out hole is offset by 3.5 degrees, just like a box end wrench. So if you turn it over, you get a bunch more positions.
Right, and this is never going to loosen up because it can't move. The bolt can't move.
It's called an active mechanical locking fastener system. So it actively holds the bolt head from moving. And let's remember, just 5 degrees of counter rotation costs you 50% of your clamp value. 50% of your clamp value, you're blowing gaskets or losing parts.
Stage 8 Locking Fasteners. Easy to install, easy to uninstall, and always tight. That's your industry update for this week.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Turn 1, quality in every turn. Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation. And by Clark Gear, worldwide custom gears made in the USA.
Welcome back to Performance TV here at Dustless Blasting, just outside of Houston, Texas. During our time here today, we've had an opportunity to see all the raw materials come in, them make them into parts, them build all of their machines, all of the great tools, and even their turnkey mobile operations, which, Charlie, you have got yourself one. And how long have you been doing this?
About 4 months now.
About 4 months. What made you decide to start making a living with the Dustless Blasting?
Well, I investigated their system. I'd seen their advertisement before, and I'd come by and take a look at it, educated myself, and I just liked the system.
So once you got your mobile unit, were you able to work with the folks then to learn everything there was on how to use it?
Oh yes, they've been very helpful, very supportive. All the questions, I call them up for technical support all the time. They're great people, and I really enjoy it and enjoy working with them.
Okay, with having a mobile unit, you roll your truck up, you just pull it with your truck, get to your location. What do you need to do next?
I usually have my media all in my pot, and I have everything ready to go. I can just unroll my hose and start up blasting.
So how much water are you able to carry with your mobile unit?
I can carry 150 gallons in the tank.
Okay, and then with your media?
I can carry a whole pallet of media on the back if I needed to.
So Charlie, describe the technique and how you do all of this.
I just roll up and get my unit going. I always check my wind direction so I can see where it's blowing so I don't damage my truck or have anything make a mess. and I just start going on the parts of the car, follow the outlines, and it just eliminates all the corrosion and rust. Does a very good job.
Yeah, this truck's pretty rusty. We see the rust, it takes off the paint. Anything that was on here, it's just gone.
Oh, it takes off Bondo, takes off everything.
Now, besides doing all the metal stuff, you're able to do so many more projects with your dustless blasting.
Oh yes, I can do anything from wood to taking Allen fouling off of boats. I can do about anything with it. Masonry, I can take striping off of parking lots, just about anything.
Well, Charlie, thanks so much for showing us how this all works, and it definitely sounds like this is a great opportunity.
If you've ever had to change the coil spring on the front strut suspension of your car, you know what a tough job that can be. But the machine here from Brannick, the model 7600, they've been building quality automotive tools since 1917. And this model here, it's OEM approved. All the manufacturers approve of this machine to do your job and make it easy and simple. One of the neat features about it, it's very adjustable. The upper spring hooks are really adjustable, 4 inches in 1 inch increments. It has all the different adjustments here. You don't have to buy any adapters for whatever model you may be changing, whether it be the SUV, pickup trucks, clear down to the small vehicles, even minivans. This machine will do it all. The 7600 is very versatile. You can mount it to the wall like this, have it in a place stationary. They also have a mobile cart you can mount to, and a benchtop model. It'll do all makes and models of all the different manufacturers, even the really tough ones, and make this job a lot easier. Has long handles up here, so up to 3,000 PSI spring pressure. It'll make the job a lot simpler, a lot easier. You know, you don't have to put those hooks on there and have them slip off and all the mess of trying to do this job. This makes it really simple, really easy, and very safe. All made in the USA out of strong steel. Check them out at Brannick.com. We've had a great day at Dustless Blasting, but we're gonna have to catch you next week. Be sure and tune in. I gotta check this thing out. It's so cool. I can do this.